1.
Oh, man. Will we end up with a gray screen?
I don't think so.
Oh, my gosh. We're live. Oh, Ethan. Oh, Ethan Nagy. My producer. Our producer. If only people could hear the things we talk about before the live stream begins.
No, really, they really shouldn't. The things that we say should never be public.
Oh, my gosh.
Only within the confines of Awakened Theater.
How is your Friday treating you, Mr. Ethan?
I've been here, hanging out,
Yeah.
doing things for one of our main shows running right now every week. Well, almost every week is the Prodigal Life, and we've been getting sponsors for every single episode, or at least we've tried. So I was dealing with that today for a future episode. So yeah, doing
Very
that
cool.
all day. So
That's exciting.
Yes, it was.
That's really cool.
Yes. How was your Friday, sir?
Man, my Friday has been kind of, in many ways, delightful.
That's great. I was concerned there for a minute, but that's good. That's good. It was delightful. Okay.
And just to top it off,
Yeah.
you and I both got to enjoy such a ridiculous Batman meme right before the stream went live.
Yes,
right as the countdown was finishing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Let us know, viewers, in the comments. How is your Friday going? Where are
Mm.
you tuning in from?
Good question.
Yeah, I actually was having coffee with some guys this morning, and they are guys that frequent our live stream on Fridays.
Oh, nice.
And one of them had a question
Oh.
that is actually to be directed at you.
Okay.
And I said, hey, if you want the answer to that question, you got to tune in. And you gotta give it to Ethan in the comments.
I'm
here.
terrified of what this question is.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that until they chime in.
Oh, Lord.
But anyways, we got some interesting topics lined up here.
Yes, we do. Yeah. The first one, I don't think Colleen imagined I would have a lot to say.
Okay, but you do.
But I do.
Okay.
So she was thinking we were going to focus on another thing, and so I had to change some things in the description and stuff. But yeah, it should be an interesting show, to say the least.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time tuning in to the Nick de la Torre show, I am your host, Nick de la Torre, the title host, so to speak. But I am joined today by my co-host and producer, Mr. Ethan Nagy. Ethan, welcome to the show once again.
Hello, ever faithful viewers. Yes.
And basically, we get together here on Friday afternoons to end the work week, kick off the weekend. We take a look at current events that are going on, and just whatever stuff comes up in the chat, and we look at everything through an incredibly biased Catholic lens, and that would be my incredibly biased Catholic lens, because your boy's Catholic. So anyways, it looks like the question has been dropped in the chat here. We got it from Overwatch.
Oh yeah.
Wait, before we get to that, Watchtower 45 says DLT and Ethan, the dynamic Friday afternoon duo.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that nickname.
The dynamic Friday afternoon duo.
Are you going to come up with a theme song for us?
I just did.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
May or may not have
Just
ripped
right
off
there.
SNL, but
oh, hey, you know what? It's okay. They read from cards now, anyways. So
the dynamic Friday afternoon duo.
Is that what's? I don't even.
I can't say.
Okay,
I cannot say it on air on a Catholic show.
Right, good.
Anyway,
what a time.
But I do think that might be how we kick off these live streams.
Oh yeah, the Friday time.
All right, so bring up Overwatch's question here for you, Mr. Ethan. We'll kick off with this, and then we'll dive into our topics.
Yes.
So the question is, what conspiracy theories, quote, do you believe, Ethan?
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend who is a big conspiracy theorist. So I could really go deep into some of these conspiracy theories. The one that I like, I don't know if it's, it's conspiracy theories, right? So like these are like rough and stuff, but I don't know if you know about QAnon.
I have heard the term.
So that's a pretty deep conspiracy, like dark hole that you can find yourself going into.
Yes.
Specifically on the Kennedys and all that stuff, all their assassinations, and how specifically here we go.
Okay.
This is a big conspiracy theory that everyone would be like, wow, I can't believe Ethan kind of thinks it's true that the government decided to kill the Kennedys. That wasn't, it wasn't like, some evil other people. No, it was the U.S. government. And I don't know how true that is. That's like conspiracy theories for me. That's like, I like to keep them at like an arm's length, right? Because like I think that some conspiracy theories are good to listen to think about. Like it was kind of like the reverse of thinking we're in the Matrix, right? I think it's like it's realizing that bad things happen, and like
Certainly.
the world is reality, and sometimes reality can be scary, and that's kind of like the Kennedys, not just JFK, but also his brother, and both of their deaths, like, I mean, you look at all the things and the way that the U.S. was going. I took a Vietnam class, and we covered some of what JFK did for the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Okay,
and like it changed my viewpoint of JFK because I used to love JFK, but the way that he handled it, I don't think was the best. Obviously, any man in that scenario, how do you handle that well? The Cuban Missile Crisis. But yeah, I think that no matter what, he was trying to stay out of Vietnam, and the government wanted to go in. And what best to do but get rid of the guy who was going to stop that?
Sure.
Okay. So that's kind of my thing. Like, that's probably the biggest one that, like, I think it's crazy, but like, who knows? We don't know, and we probably won't know until the U.S. is gone.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this question. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Thank you for opening your heart and sharing vulnerably about this conspiracy theory that you consigned to. Okay. So that sounds like something that you have a theory about.
Yeah.
Are there propositions out there from the powers that be that even if you don't have a theory about what did happen, that you have question marks about whether or not we're being lied to about them?
Do you have an example of something that you conscribe to?
This is about you, Ethan.
But see, I need an example to get my mind. Okay,
example. Example. The science.
Okay.
Of evolution.
Oh, what you think you agree with?
What I'm saying is there are question marks around it that I think that the science falls short of really creating a comprehensive, undeniable argument for the case that they're making.
Oh man.
But that to me, I don't immediately jump to I'm not opposed to, I'm open to, but I don't immediately jump to a young Earth theory that the Earth is literally like 6,000 years old or something, whatever it is. But we have to contend with there are realities that Darwin or whoever scientists observe that are facts, like adapting to the environment, which I was just discussing this morning with some friends. You even see that in the changes that have happened in corn over the last several decades. So there are things that happen, these changes that take place, but they don't account for a comprehensive, robust, like undeniable case for the evolution, the science of evolution as it is currently portrayed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that evolution itself is a very like tough topic for Catholics in general, because like I don't like if we are to believe in Adam and Eve, like some people say that that's just a story, some people don't. People say that never happened, and we don't know. We weren't there. Obviously the New Testament is real, and everything that happened then was real,
Yeah, well, but let's be clear with our words here. The Old Testament too is real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It exists.
Yeah,
number one.
Yes.
It does exist.
Yes.
But number two, there is truth to be gotten from the creation accounts, for example, without having to look at it as an accounting of the scientific proceedings that took place. Maybe I should say the literal way that it played out, because even within the book of Genesis we have two conflicting, contradictory accounts of the way that creation was established. So I can appreciate within Catholicism, within the church's direct teaching, that it doesn't say that you have to see it one way or the other way.
Yeah.
But what it does say we have to believe is that there is truth to be received from the book of Genesis, right?
Yes.
And I
that
love
God created us.
I love the example of, let's say your lover is looking into your eyes and they're explaining what they see in your eyes, and then you go to your optometrist and then they explain what they see in your eyes. They're both true. But they're both completely different explanations of what they see in your eye. And so, to me, we do have to believe in the book of Genesis.
Yeah.
That's expected of us, right?
Yes.
But how we process what it is the book of Genesis is trying to tell us in those first several chapters, that is something that is far beyond me. But anyways, that's a little bit of a digression.
No, yeah. And so honestly, at this moment right now, I can't think of anything. Like if we were in the throes of discussion and there was one that I might be like, oh my gosh, yeah. And who knows, maybe we'll do that right now.
I'll give you a better one.
Okay.
One that should not send us down the same theological rabbit hole.
Sure.
I don't believe we went to the moon.
Whoa. Whoa. Wow.
This has nothing to do with the fact that I'm Catholic.
Are you serious? Do you actually know?
I am serious.
Really?
I do. I totally believe that.
I would never peg you for a non moon believer. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a lot of angles on that amongst those out there that carry that doubt.
Yeah.
For me, so there are some people that if you get into the world of like flat earthers, well, if you're a flat earther, then who knows what the moon actually is, right? That's not me.
Right.
What I'm saying is, although I also don't presume to know, right? All we know about space is what we're told about space.
Yes,
right?
That's very true. I mean, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so, but for me, even with what we are told about space, if we're going to totally believe everything we're told, there is a not insignificant layer of radiation. I forget what the name is. Maybe Joe Macassay could tell us.
No, you're
that was on purpose.
Oh my gosh.
In the chats here.
What a guy.
What the name of it is, but there is a very significant and problematic layer of radiation that somehow today, and for the decades since the original moon landing, we have not figured out how to penetrate it. And allegedly, somehow, whatever technology they developed in an era where my iPhone is more technologically advanced than the computer systems on a rocket ship, somehow they were able to figure out how to go through that layer of radiation, but we somehow lost that knowledge in the decades since.
Interesting.
And it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, but we have an orbiting space station, though.
But that doesn't mean that. But that also doesn't hold human beings, right? So human beings are what cannot get through that radiation field.
Wait, I thought there are humans in the International Space Station right now.
Yeah. But that only goes so far.
I see.
Right, so we're talking about something that's further out. In the.
I see. Are we? Is it the Van Allen belts?
I don't think that's it, but it doesn't ring a bell.
I just think this conversation is interesting because
actually, wait. If the people in the chat here are saying it's the Van Allen belts, then that might be.
That was Austin who said that.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is probably it.
It could be
Van Allen belts. Well, so what I think is interesting with this conversation we're currently having is that we just did an Aliens episode a couple weeks ago, which you should totally go back and watch if you haven't seen it. And so following that, I had a conversation with a buddy of mine, and he was saying that aliens are not real. And I said that I think that I think it's interesting because I think aliens is a very different conversation than what we're having right now, because this one is about humans escaping Earth, whereas the other one is about people coming to Earth. But I think that it's interesting that you don't believe. It's just crazy to me because I think that.
Is it that crazy?
No, I don't.
If you really take an objective look.
Here's the problem is I don't. whenever I have these kinds of conversations, I don't have the facts to back up. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what Van Allen belts are. You know, I've seen Apollo 13 though, and that's a good movie. Really good movie.
Very entertaining. Tom Hanks killed it, no question.
And you know, I don't think that was the one that they landed on the moon though. So
the Apollo 13 is where it did not go well.
Did not go well. Yeah. It's been a long time since I watched it. But yeah, I just think it's interesting. I don't know. I feel like the moon landing can be connected to aliens because I feel like both of those have to require some kind of like, not trust, but like, because like my one friend said, well, now that the government has said that aliens are real, then they're definitely not real. And I think that like, I don't know, you know, I think that like man-made inventions, like that is why that I could perceive that we didn't land on the moon, because you're right. If there is something that is holding us back from passing those specific points, then I don't actually know. And I've never been to the moon myself. I've never seen it.
It's beautiful this time of year.
I bet it is. And I've never set foot into a spaceship, and I don't know rocket science. I am not as smart as a rocket scientist. So though it may seem like it when I do these streams and I'm multitasking, I am not a rocket scientist.
You are multitasking. So, your multitasking is next level.
Sure, apparently. But anyway.
Oh, it looks like we got some people in the chat that want to send you the facts.
Oh, nice.
Ethan.
All right, Watchtower. Send it to me. Ethan@awakencatholic.org. That is my email.
There
you can send it to me, all the facts. Send them all to me.
That's so funny.
No, but seriously, like I think that, at least to me, like both of those go hand in hand, because like both require not faith. I feel like that's a little hand in fist.
They totally.
But they kind of do, you know, like I think that like I don't think that my friend is wrong in believing that aliens don't exist. Like I think that he's got a valid point. In fact, like I agree with him. If the government is telling us that they're real, well, now I'm like super skeptical, because you're trying to tell me that they're real in a time when the economy is imploding on itself and we're trying to spend billions of dollars in Ukraine. You know, I mean, I don't.
And plus the all the stuff going on with Biden, Joe and Hunter.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Just,
that's some of the some of the stuff I heard about that recently. Oh gosh. Oh man.
Anyways.
Yes. So anyways, long story short, am I surprised that you don't believe in the moon landing? Yes. But it's kind of like, you know, I can't entirely blame you, because we did the same thing to the Germans with the tanks in World War II. We used blow up tanks and put them on the shores.
This
and we
is
took
news to me.
You've never heard this?
No.
I stood. I wish I would have prepared. I didn't know we were going to talk about this. I stood next to one of the inflatable tanks. Obviously, it was probably a recreation. But what we did was to fool them into thinking that we had way more troops on the shores of. I can't think of the first landing in Germany.
Was it Normandy?
Yes, Normandy. Okay. Yes, you're right. Normandy, like like we had a massive force, right? No, actually, we took a bunch of videos of inflatable tanks and like people, you know, using the tanks and whatever to try to fool the Germans into thinking that we had more people on D-Day. So yeah, I mean, if we did that and it fooled the Germans, who's to say that we couldn't have fooled the people into thinking the moon landing, you know, was real?
It's certainly in keeping.
I think it's crazy. I think it's like nuts, because like then like how, right, like you're saying, like how do I have this massive computer in the palm of my hands, and we can't get to the moon anymore? Like,
right. Pull up Austin Mass's comment here. We invented the airplane.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. It's up.
This is the point that I was making here. So he says we invented the airplane and had transatlantic flights 10 years later. We go to the moon in the 60s and can't go back 60 years later.
Yeah. It's not, because I guess I haven't been keeping up with like NASA and that stuff. Have we just never?
There's nothing interesting to keep up with.
That's kind of the unfortunate fact.
That's the point behind. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting to me.
Yeah. So for me, my general MO is I just don't assume that any of it is true. Anything that we're being told.
Yeah.
But it also is different for me than the average like conspiracy theorist, quote unquote, because for me, it's not something that gets me up in arms. For me, it's like it literally makes no difference in my in my life.
I mean, right, and I think that's a big key about all of this. Even the things that we talked about in the past. I mean, some things are more important
because at the end of the day, I have a responsibility to spread the gospel. First and foremost, I have a responsibility to be a good son of God. Son of the Father. I have a responsibility to be the best husband I can be. I have a responsibility to be the best father I can be. And then in every other area that God has me serving the kingdom, I have a responsibility to show up. And in none of that stuff does it matter whether or not we went to the moon. I don't believe that I haven't seen reason to think that we did go. From an evidentiary standpoint. But it also doesn't matter.
Right.
So
in the big scheme of things, right. It's just not important to my day-to-day thing, life.
Amen. So, okay, so now that we're half an hour into the show, what's our first topic?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we can skip this one because I do have a lot more, but we'll just do it anyways. Okay. Why not, right? Make things exciting. So this first one is about carbon dioxide and trees.
Okay.
Very exciting, interesting thing here, so we'll just hopefully everybody can hear it here.
I did as the government asked, and I looked at the science when it came to climate change, and this is what I found. According to government figures, Australia is producing 499 million metric tonnes of carbon dioxide per year. But what I also found is that one mature tree will absorb 48 pounds or 21.77 kilograms of carbon dioxide per year. And Australia currently has 24 billion standard-sized trees, absorbing 453 million metric tonnes of carbon dioxide per year. And that's just trees. Doesn't include any other plant life, and particularly doesn't include mangroves. And mangroves will absorb 50 times more carbon dioxide per year than a standard-sized tree. So why is the government hell-bent on cutting down trees in order to install solar farms? It seems quite obvious from the science that nature has already provided the solution to the problem.
I've never heard this explained.
Wow. Interesting. So Speaking of conspiracy theories,
I got even better. No, but wait, this gets deeper.
Okay.
So it's funny that's why this is crazy that Colleen would pick this. I had this same conversation with my friend. I don't even know how it got brought up, right? But we kind of looked into it. I didn't get any sources for this stuff, so maybe this is all a bunch of conspiracy. But listen to this, okay?
Okay.
So think of it like you provide a population with more food, right? Trees in this instance. What do they eat? Carbon dioxide. They can reproduce easier. So eventually, the rate of plant growth will match or exceed human carbon dioxide output. And there are more trees currently than ever before in human history. And the growth rate of the population is increasing, not decreasing.
Population of trees?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, and theoretically, because of the fact that there is more carbon dioxide.
So you're saying that our industrial revolution and all of this stuff is actually creating a better environment for the trees to sustain it.
Yep.
That's so interesting.
So here's the whole here comes the conspiracy circle full circle here now.
Okay.
All right. So if that's true and that it's exponentially increasing in the amount of trees, sooner or later we're not going to be able to provide enough carbon dioxide.
Oh, wow.
And guess what's going to happen? Okay, I'm telling you, full circle here. Ice Age Part 2.
What?
Because there's going to be if we're not going to be able to produce enough carbon dioxide, it's going to go all the way. It's going to go all the way back around, right? And that's why, sure, the planet was warming for a while because the trees had to have time to catch up. But now that they have, and they're going to continue to catch up as we're trying to decrease, now it's going to go back full circle, and now the Earth is going to cold. That's I don't know. When he said that to me, I was like, hold on there. I'm not excited for an ice.
Wow.
But who knows, right? I don't know. And here's the other big thing, right? Who knows if we'll even see it in our lifetimes? We're blessed to have 100 years on this planet, and then that's it. And who knows what's it, and who knows what's left? Who knows what's next, right? Obviously, we know heaven's next, but notions can be said that heaven will be on earth,
purgatory for some of us.
Yes, correct. Most of us, yes. But you get what I'm saying. That and so but for us, 100 years, I don't think we'll see an ice age, but it's just mind blowing to me that we are because it's just mind blowing. It's crazy.
So everyone watching, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with everyone so that we can save the planet together by pumping more CO2 into the environment.
Because that's people are like, wait, you want us to do more CO2? Hold on there. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's really interesting. And, we as Catholics have a responsibility as human beings, right? Because whatever. But we have a responsibility to care well for our planet.
Yeah.
But we also have a responsibility to not do busy work to do that. Right. So, man, it sure feels good to consider myself the kind of person that takes care of the environment by doing X, Y, and Z, when in reality, it's so much deeper than just kind of these superficial external things that have become in vogue to do, So, anyway, super interesting.
Yes.
And then we have Watchtower asked, what other miracle properties does corn have? Overwatch said...
He said a lot, actually.
Of production of ethanol, the most efficient form of protein, a bunch of other stuff that goes over my head.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, he said that corn absorbs 36,000 pounds or 18 tons of CO2 per acre.
Yeah.
Right? And if Ohio is all cornfields, well, then we'll be fine. I mean,
be a good Catholic. Eat corn. All right.
Support the growth of corn.
Support your local farmers.
Support your local corn farmers.
And if they're not growing corn, tell them they should be. All right. Before we go on, Ethan, I just want to encourage everyone, make sure you have hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this content with everyone literally everyone. Tell your doctor, tell your lawyer, tell your I don't know.
Best friend.
If you haven't already told your best friend.
Tell your
If you have not already told your best friend, is that really your best friend?
No.
Oh my goodness. Watchtower says, sounds like we need to start a new pro-Earth movement that is pro-CO2 and pro-corn.
I'm all about being pro-corn, man.
And bourbon comes from corn. That is truly the most important part.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. I love bourbon.
Oh my gosh. All right. Now, before we move on, I want to remind everyone.
Okay, I was going to say, I thought that's where you were going with this.
Yeah, it was. Okay. I want to remind everyone in the chat or watching the stream here that my book, The Eucharist, The Ultimate Love Story Unveiled, is now available for pre-order. It releases on October 21st, but you can get it a day early if you come to the launch party right here at Awaken Theater on October 20th. And so, actually, Ethan, could we plug into the description of the live stream?
Not right now, but afterwards for sure I can, yes.
Yeah, I want to put the link to
the pre-order?
The pre-order.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say the RSVP for the live stream.
Oh, yes. We can include the RSVP for the October 20th book launch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to see what happens if I just copy it into the comments here, the chat.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I don't know. It's not clickable. That's dumb.
Depressing.
That's so dumb. All right. Well,
it's okay.
I think it will be on Facebook, but
okay.
Okay. We'll add it to the description after the live stream.
Definitely can do.
But obviously, entry for the launch party is free, and we will have some snacks, or as it's referred to in the event description, hors d'oeuvres. And some adult beverages, some refreshments. It'll be a blast. And it's actually beginning at 6 p.m. on the 20th with Mass also celebrated right here at Awaken Theater.
Do I have the space to ask who is the celebrant of that?
You may ask. The primary celebrant will be Father Albert Belts.
Ooh,
an awesome young priest.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay. And
I
asked him if he'd be willing to sprinkle, kind of go between some Latin and English. Just to really spice things up a little bit.
Super spicy.
And any other priests that are able to attend are welcome to celebrate. And I should also mention all Catholic priests who attend will receive a free copy of the book at the party. So anyways, be looking for that link in the description of this live stream after the fact. Freaking Matt Frad, when he's live streaming, in real time, his producer has figured out a way to update both the thumbnail, the title, and the description with additional links while they're live streaming.
Can you get in contact with them and find out what they're using?
Yeah. I wonder if he's just doing it in the YouTube interface. We use a different software. I wonder if that's what the trick is.
Because are they only streaming on YouTube? Is
that might be what it is? Well, no, he streams on YouTube and on Locals.
Oh, what's Locals?
Locals is the Patreon alternative that's free speech and whatever.
Oh, interesting. Okay. But yeah, okay, interesting.
Yeah, so we should look into that.
Yeah. I mean, we'd lose our Facebook audience, but who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
whoa. Just kidding. I love you, Facebook. You want to
get rid of Meta? Wow.
I love you, Facebook viewers.
Man, that's depressing.
All right. So let's move on to our next topic.
Yeah. I think we're just going home with the hard hitters today.
Oh, this is great. Watchtower says, I want an episode where Ethan and Thursday get together to talk about DLT and Frad.
Which I don't know who Thursday is.
Thursday is his producer.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Oh,
that would be hilarious.
I don't know if I want that, but
I bet you'd like him. He seems I'm pretty confident you two would like each other.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe.
All right, let's hit up this topic.
All right. Okay. All right. Do you want to just jump into it or I'll give some context. Okay?
Yeah.
So what we're about to show, this is Carlos Arella. I'm messing it up.
I'm guessing it's Arellano.
Thank you for that. Yes. And he is a former U.S. immigration contractor. And in this video that we're about to show, he exposes what he personally witnessed while working for an NGO moving unaccompanied minors from large facilities to so-called sponsors. And these organizations have been set up by the government and run with state permits.
What's an NGO?
I don't actually know.
Okay.
Can
we get the viewers to let us know in the chat?
What is an NGO?
Only wrong answers
for an NGO.
What is an NGO? Only wrong answers.
I think that I have the answer, so we can hear the wrong answers.
I want the wrong answers.
The wrong answers. And
I'm far more interested.
They gave the real one.
Dang it, Austin!
They gave the real one. Non-governmental organization
ruined all the fun.
So they were working for a non-government organization that had been set up by the government and then run with state permits.
Okay.
So kind of, I don't know, that's kind of sus to me, but that's okay. Suspect. Just had to make sure everybody knew that. But prior to showing this, even just the things, I haven't actually watched this myself. But talking to this about this to Colleen, this is very reminiscent of State of Freedom. Is that no Sound of Freedom. And so I think trigger warning, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that it's as graphic or as if Sound of Freedom is graphic. But anyways, so let's just jump in.
Okay.
Let's just jump in.
Because our flight doesn't happen until the next day, our return flight. So the rest of the night we're free. And a lot of my coworkers were 18, 19 years old, 21 years old, taking care of teenagers. And their main worry was, oh, man, I want to go to the bar already. I want to go to a concert that's happening in downtown LA. But the sponsor is taking forever, or this child is crying, and I just want to hand them off. So they would hand the children off, even though they were showing signs of, I don't know the sponsor. And then I used to think my coworkers were lying or they were exaggerating, because I would tell myself my coworker just wants attention, so they're acting like. And as sick as it is, people like attention that way. And I would brush it off, saying there's no way that's true. But then one day I received an email from my boss admitting in a company email that we handed off children to the wrong people. And
Jeez.
all the stories that I would hear from coworkers immediately just hit me hard in my face. And I had a big panic attack and I couldn't breathe. And the reason why is because I also would get stories from kids where a child wouldn't want to talk. And when I would get to the sponsor would tell me he's not talking because his sibling was with him and she got raped in Mexico and she got murdered in Mexico as well. So these children go through crazy situations like that. And then they tell me these stories. And then you get an email from your own boss telling you, we fucked up. We gave children to the wrong people.
Yeah, sorry.
And the
warning.
way,
Yeah, I said
the reason why it's so sickening is because in my office alone, there was about 300 of us, 200 to 300 of us. I would say at the most 400 employees. And each one of us can sometimes have 6 kids, 8 kids at a time. And the word around the company was that the boss had found records of us handing off kids to the wrong people for an entire month. So each day there's escorts going out. So that's thousands of kids for an entire month that were handed off to the wrong people. And could you just imagine a company that's working for the government admits in an email to we gave kids to the wrong people? You just lose your entire faith in the company, in the system, and it's like, what am I doing here? You know, I can't be part of this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I decided to speak out, because the company themselves admitted we're trafficking kids.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, apologies for the F-bomb. But it's true. I mean, that is like, and basically what it sounded like he was saying is that they would just be like, oops.
Yeah,
Oh,
oopsie
well.
doopsie.
Like, oops, I guess we dropped them off into the, wrong places. Oops, I guess,
yeah,
we messed up.
And that
We'll do better next time.
nonchalant spirit with which it's responded to is so heartbreaking, and it's so indicative of how far from truth and beauty and grace we have come as a society, from understanding the incredible dignity and worth of every single human being. And that again is such a dismissive, like, it's so heartbreaking to me, because those are people.
Yeah,
those kids,
children.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like, it's like, it is very much very reminiscent of Sound of Freedom. And I mean, even in the real life scenario, when he goes to his bosses and said, hey, I have some kids that I need to save. I need to save them. And they're like, yeah, we'll only help you, so much. And then when we run out of money, and we're not going to give you any more. And so, all those other kids, oh well.
Yeah.
And you're talking about humans, let alone kids, that are being trafficked, and you're just saying that, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh well, we can only do so much. No, we should be doing everything to save them. We should be using our resources and actually holding ourselves accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike this scenario where basically they're like, oh well, we'll keep doing what we're doing, even though we're basically trafficking kids. It's okay, not a big deal.
We have to have a very real resistance to give the government a pass. The direct involvement, whether it's supporting something financially or managing it themselves, we cannot be too ready to give the government a pass when it makes these kinds of mistakes. I mean, that's evil.
Yeah,
that it's so diabolic.
Absolutely.
And these poor children, God bless them. My heart goes out to them, and I want to invite our viewers to pray for any such victims. But we really ought to, with everything that's going on, but including with stories like this, we ought to have an increasing distrust of our government officials, the people that are in power in the various legs of the government, and we ought to be calling them to the carpet. We're the ones that put the people that are in power in power. Mm-hmm. We do that with our voting, and this can't be good enough to us.
Yeah,
this can't be acceptable, and we have to take action. We need to vote. We need to spread awareness. We need to be vocal about the absurdity and the great evil that our government is committing, even just by negligence or irresponsibility. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't really feel like there's. I mean, this is awful, and the rest. I mean, this continues to go on and just kind of devolves into worse and worse things that have happened, and it's just like at this point, yeah, right. Hold your government responsible.
Yeah.
And do the best that you can
mm-hmm.
to not only help others see the truth, but also to help others to rely on themselves. Right.
Yeah, and I think boldness, whether it's in a workplace or amongst friends or family that don't see things eye to eye with you, be bold and be impatient with evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody is for any reason trying to say that our government is good and noble or anything that we would understand to be absurd, be very impatient with that.
Yeah.
And say, are you freaking kidding me? No, our government's not noble. No, our government's evil.
Yeah.
And be very vocal and bold about those stances.
Yeah.
We have Watchtower saying, see Senator Katie Britt's recent video on what she saw at the southern border. And actually, Elon Musk just released a video on Twitter X, I think earlier today, where he visited the border and he has a conversation with a few people at the border trying to bring attention to it. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I'm really kind of speechless, really. But we'll end this here. It's supposed to be funny, but now at this context, it's not going to be.
Oh gosh!
But we'll watch it anyways. So here we go.
The president promised help is on the way, and today, help has arrived.
9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, yeah, it kind of fits in exactly with what we were saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that, just be bold, be bold.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to not follow the grain.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, if we have faith, everything will work out,
faith in God.
Yeah. Amen.
Right.
Yes.
Not faith in the government.
Correct.
Not just faith in God.
Yes.
We need to be faithful to God and to the church, and we need to be critical of, and we need to stop playing as though we're on defense. We need to become offensive, not in the negative sense of that word, but we need to go on the offense.
Yeah.
Right. And in sporting lingo, you can say that we're playing off an offensive game. Right. We're being super proactive. We're getting out there. We're being bold.
Yeah.
And I'll say proactively, this has nothing to do with any kind of a partisan position on my part. Like I viewers will know, I neither am a Republican nor a Democrat. I'm a Catholic. Yeah. And as a Catholic, anytime I see that woman on a screen talking, I cringe because there is such an air of evil about her, just the way that she talks and her mannerisms and this grin that looks like something out of a DC comic for one of the Batman villains. Yeah. Like she is not a good person. Yeah. And I pray for her repentance. Yeah. I pray for her to see the error in her ways and come to the Lord. Yeah. But we ought not put people on pedestals who have diabolic plans and commit diabolic actions, and we see that day after day after day right now, and we got to call it like it is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Do you want to end on a semi maybe more funny video? Okay, great. So here we're just gonna react in the moment. Okay. So here we go.
Hi, excuse me, sir. If you have a couple minutes, why don't we...
got many more than a couple of minutes.
You got many more than a couple minutes? Why is that?
Because I got nothing else to do.
You have a tinge of an
love it.
accent. You're from England or...
Tinge of an accent? Well, yours is a very noticeable American accent.
How long have you been in America for?
Too long.
What do you like about the city?
Nothing. It's a shit heap.
Sorry for the profanity.
I've been most parts of the world, unlike most Americans who've been nowhere.
Oh my gosh.
Brits of their interest in other people and other countries is nil. Number of people in this country who have passports, except to go to Canada or to Cancun.
What do you love most about Americans?
My wife.
Look at I think the best part about that is how he looks at the end.
Yeah.
Like you could tell that brightened his day.
That guy
You know,
is my new
like-
hero. That guy is my new hero. I think we need to start the cause for his canonization, even if he's
Agreed.
still alive.
I agree.
Oh my gosh,
that
what
was
a G.
great. Yes.
That is
it was
great.
amazing.
Ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, thank you for being with us today on the live stream. I want to remind you that you can pre-order the book at catholicmerch.store. Catholicmerch.store is the URL for our merch store, and that is the only place that you can pre-order the book. If you plan to attend the launch party the night before the release on October 20th, then make sure when you're checking out of the merch store that you select, for the shipping method, select pickup, because otherwise you'll get hit with some shipping charges and whatever. So catholicmerch.store, you can pick up a copy of The Eucharist, the ultimate love story unveiled. And yeah, I would love to fill this place up with people for the launch party. That would just be tremendous,
Especially for mass too. You know, like that's like I don't know. That's cool to me. You know.
Oh yeah, having mass
and
here,
like and telling people ahead of time. Unlike the last time we did it, you know, it'll be great. It'll be great.
Oh yeah, because we had
We
mass
did
here
have
one
one-
other time.
Yes, correct. Yes,
That was sweet. I love that. That was like a nice little
which
trial
it
run.
is up on our channel, so I guess you could watch it if you wanted to, but
Yeah.
I don't expect you to. Not this.
Yeah,
one,
that was
so.
a very last
was-
minute.
Yes, it was very cool.
Blessing.
Yes.
So when we do it again, we'll do it with more
pizzazz,
more
Yes.
intentionality.
Amen.
Alrighty,
All right.
everyone.
Yeah. I don't have anything
hope-
else.
I hope
so.
you all have a beautiful weekend.
Amen.
And Ethan, thank you so much for sharing the air with me here
Always.
today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support the work that we're doing here, please visit awakencatholic.org/donate. And also make sure to pre-order the book at catholicmerch.store. We will be with you again next Friday afternoon. But before you go, I just need you to know that Jesus loves you.